This is breaking news from RTV6, working for you.
It is because of what we have done that we are moving forward by a few steps.
Indianapolis and Marion County will start the road to rebounding from the COVID-19 pandemic just days from now. But the road back will be much longer for the city than it is for much of the rest of Indiana. Good afternoon to you. I'm Lauren Casey. A short time ago, the mayor and director of Marion County Public Health Department confirming the stay-at-home order as it would be ending this Friday. They also emphasized that Indianapolis would be moving at a much slower rate than the rest of the state. So beginning Friday, the city will allow retail businesses and shopping malls to reopen at 50% capacity. Gatherings of up to 25 people will also be allowed. But unlike the state's order, the mayor says the limit will apply to religious services if those services are in person.
Drive-up religious services, where worshipers remain in their cars, will also continue to be permitted, as well as many houses of worship who on their own have already planned to continue virtual worshiping.
Well, here's a quick look at when other businesses will be allowed to open up. Beginning a week from Friday, May 22nd, in-person dining at restaurants will be allowed, but only with outdoor seating and proper social distancing. Indoor dining rooms will remain closed, and all restaurant employees must wear masks and other protective gear. Unlike the state's order, non-essential manufacturing and personal service businesses must remain closed. That means hair salons, barber shops, and gyms, those doors will remain shut. The mayor says that he hopes to have those businesses open by June 1st. However, he's not releasing a timeline right now for the remaining phases of opening by the city's economy. The mayor says it will be another week before the city has a better timeline for reopening those other businesses. The head of the health department says that's because the stay-at-home order did work to bring down the number of cases and deaths in the county.
So, conclusion, social distancing is really critical, and it is working as our metrics continue to trend downward. But we have to be very vigilant. We cannot ease up on these restrictions.
Marion County does have the most cases and deaths from COVID-19 in our state, but Dr. Kane says the percentage of the new infections and deaths has been falling since late April. Statewide, the numbers are still growing steadily. The state health department today announcing 38 newly confirmed deaths and 3 more probable deaths from COVID-19. That pushes the total number of likely deaths from the virus to more than 1,600. The number of new cases is lower than yesterday, with 409 positive tests adding to the state's total. Coming up here on the news at noon, we'll have more on how COVID-19 is impacting education, especially the timetable of when those schools can reopen. But before we get to that, let's first get a check of our forecast. We are halfway through the work week, about halfway through our Wednesday. Todd, what can folks expect as they head out the door?
You know, as you head out this afternoon, Lauren, it really depends where you live. There's a pretty big temperature spread across the area, and a lot of times in spring, we see the cooler temperatures to the north and the warmer temperatures to the south. It's the opposite here today, and it has to do everything with the amount of sunshine you're seeing. With plenty of sunshine right now to the north, we're in the 60s in Peru as well as Muncie. A little more in the way of cloud cover in Indy, 58 degrees, and then you get to Bloomington and Bedford, where the clouds are really thick and you've had some showers. And that's where temperatures right now are sitting right around 50 degrees. Here is the view from IMS back towards downtown Indianapolis, and you can see overcast skies, but it's not that real solid, thick overcast. And even in northern locations, you'll start to see the clouds increase a little bit. And what's going to happen is a warm front is going to be heading our way. This warm front right now is to our south, but it's going to start to move north, and that is what is going to finally usher in much warmer weather as we work our way into the remainder of the week. So today in the metro area, highs right around 60 degrees, a little bit warmer to the south, cooler obviously to the south, warmer to the north rather. And then tomorrow we're near 80 degrees for just about everybody. With that though comes the chance of storms. More on that coming up in just a little bit. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, the school year in Indiana is coming to an end, but administrators are already looking ahead at when it will be safe to open campuses again while keeping both children and adults safe. ABC's Trevor Alt tells us those questions lead to some tension at a congressional hearing in Washington.
The vast majority of states are starting to reopen businesses, but decisions and timelines for reopening most of the nation's schools still hang in the balance. Speaking to Congress Tuesday, the nation's leading infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, said the decision to reopen schools will need to be made carefully based on many factors, including infection rates and access to testing.
The idea of having treatments available or a vaccine to facilitate the reentry of students into the fall term would be something that would be a bit of a bridge too far.
Already this week, the University of California school system began testing students living on its San Diego campus for COVID-19, though the head of the California State University system says in-person learning this fall isn't in the cards. However, many major areas are rolling out potential plans for the fall. New York City's mayor is aiming to restart school in September if it can be done safely. Washington State may introduce staggered start times for students, and Los Angeles mayor says they're considering the same.
It won't be in the way that we've known school in the past. It might be fewer days a week. It might be staggered.
The uncertainty leading Senator Rand Paul to criticize the national approach.
One size fits all, that we're going to have a national strategy and nobody's going to go to school, is kind of ridiculous. As much as I respect you, Dr. Fauci, I don't think you're the end all.
We should be humble about what we don't know. And I think that falls under the fact that we don't know everything about this virus. And we really better be very careful, particularly when it comes to children.
Dr. Fauci was referencing a rare but troubling new development seen among more than 100 children. At least 13 states now reporting cases of that rare inflammatory syndrome linked to coronavirus. In New York, Governor Andrew Cuomo announcing the state is investigating around 100 cases and 3 children have died.
This is a truly disturbing situation, and I know parents around the state and around the country are very concerned about this.
While just about every state has closed schools for the rest of the academic year, Wyoming, Nebraska, and Montana have not. Though of those 3, only Montana is allowing in-person schooling right now, and they're practicing social distancing. Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
Well, with the current school year coming to an end, more schools in the area are making their plans to honor seniors in a very non-traditional way. Here's some schools that we've heard from at RTV6. Some are having virtual graduation ceremonies. That includes Franklin Central High School and Perry Meridian High School. Ben Davis and Warren Central High School say they'll hold virtual ceremonies, with Warren Central planning an in-person recognition of the class of 2020 down the road. At least 3 schools are pushing their commencement services into July. Ceremonies at Brownsburg, Center Grove, and Greenfield Central High School will be held outdoors. A longtime customer wanted to give back to her favorite restaurant, and she gave back in a big way. Next, how that gift is helping the restaurant's workers survive this pandemic. As we rebound from the pandemic, we're highlighting how businesses continue to serve their customers. Later on, we're going to show you how supporting one local business supports a lot of others at the same time. Todd.
And Lauren, we've been locked in with these below normal temperatures all across central Indiana for over a week. Well, there's some warmth to our south, and it's finally going to start to lift to the north. With the warmth, though, will come an increased chance of showers and thunderstorms. More on that coming up when the news at noon continues right here on RTV6.
No. ABC's General Hospital.
She said she thought of us as family and worried about the restaurant and worried about her place that she came every week and what we were going to do.
Well, a longtime customer of a restaurant decided to pay it forward, giving back to the workers who are trying to make ends meet during this pandemic. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker talked to one of the owners of Ruth's Cafe on the north side, who shares what the moving gesture means to them, especially during these tough times.
In the envelope, she had, $1,200 in cash. She took her host stimulus and in cash, gave it to us to use however we felt we needed to use it.
Sandy Schimmel was not expecting this lump sum of money from one of their regular customers.
I ended up sobbing my eyes out with her. I couldn't believe she would do something like that. It was so kind.
All the servers got to split the $1,200, fulfilling the goal of the customer who wishes to remain anonymous.
I let her know that today, and she was really pleased that it was helping them because she was very worried about them.
Sandy says this highlights one of the big reasons people get into the restaurant industry, not just for the food, but also all the connections you make.
It's all those people you meet and all those families and all those babies that are born.
Most days, Ruth's Cafe would look like this. but the pandemic has forced them to close off the dining area and only do to-go orders. And while this $1,200 was a nice surprise, it was also a stark reminder of what they're missing.
That was the hardest part, standing there and not being able to hug her.
Hugging a customer, something Sandy tells me she won't take for granted when she can do it again. Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
Well, it looks like a fantastic deal, but before you click on a coupon on that Facebook page, you'll want to see this warning about how it can do harm to your computer. We'll have that story and much more coming up after the break. Stay around.
To Keller. Keller and Keller.
Well, you've probably seen them on your Facebook or your email. A coupon promising to save you some big money at a big name store. The Better Business Bureau's Tim Maniscalco tells us you want to be careful. That's not a coupon you're about to click on.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of fake coupons going around on social media. And these are coupons where what they want you to do is click on the coupon, and then they're going to ask you for some personal information. And that is just a ploy to download malware into your computer, so they're trying to corrupt your computer. A couple of the popular ones we've seen are Bath and Body Works, Costco, Starbucks, and those are some of the very popular ones we've seen, although it really can be any retailer. So if you see something like this on social media, number one, or on email, you want to make certain that you look for, up in the URL bar, if it's an email, the HTTPS. S is the important letter up there that gives you some added confidence that it is a secure website. And once again, you want to, if you see a coupon, don't necessarily click on that, or don't necessarily go to the website because that, once again, could download some malware. You can go to the actual manufacturer or the actual store, the actual retailer, see if they've got some sort of coupon or some sort of offer out there. But once again, these are very, very lucrative coupons. They look like great values, but they're just trying to get you to go to a website and then download malware into your computer.
Tim, thank you. We have more tips on how you can avoid scams like those involving fake coupons. Just go to our website, theindychannel.com/money. All right, we got to get a check of our forecast right now. Todd, you've been telling me since this morning, this is kind of our transition day into much warmer weather. So what do we have in store this afternoon first?
Yeah, you know, temperatures aren't really going to go up a whole lot this afternoon. The big difference, Lauren, is tonight they're not going to drop off. They're going to hold pretty steady and then start to climb really, really quick once we get into the day tomorrow. And this morning into the afternoon hours, there's been a pretty big temperature spread across the area with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Bloomington with some showers earlier and still lots of clouds, 51 degrees, currently 62 with more in the way of sunshine to the north up in Kokomo as well as Muncie. Indianapolis kind of in the middle. Here are those showers that went through the Bloomington area earlier this morning, and they're now pushing into the Greensburg area and eventually off here into Ohio. And Columbus still seeing a few showers as well. They're all very, very light. I don't think they'll ruin any plans, but definitely need to bundle up more down in southern locales today. But the warm front is just to our south, and this warm front is going to start to move north tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. And by tomorrow afternoon, it should be to our north, bringing in much warmer air for everybody, but it's also going to act as a trigger mechanism for some showers to return to central Indiana. So highs today in the mid-60s to the north, right around 60 degrees in Indy, and Bloomington and Columbus probably only staying in the upper 50s. But as we go over to TrueCast and forecasted temperatures, watch what happens overnight. We're not going to drop down into the 30s and 40s. We're going to keep the temperatures very steady, and then by the time we get to mid-morning, we're already into the 60s tomorrow. By the time we get to the noon hour, we're into the mid-70s across the area, with high temperatures tomorrow into the 80s, especially if we remain dry. And so tomorrow is going to be a drastic change from the 49-degree high temperature we saw on Monday to the 80-degree temperature that we'll have tomorrow afternoon, if not even warmer across some locations. As far as the rain chances tomorrow, And they'll kind of be with us in the morning and then ramp up again in the afternoon as the warm front comes through overnight. Just a few spotty showers throughout the morning hours, and then throughout the afternoon. It's just really in northern locations here that we get into the potential of seeing a few showers and a few isolated thunderstorms. A couple of those storms, though, could be strong to severe, with wind being the main threat tomorrow afternoon, but it's definitely not a widespread rain event for us on Thursday. Friday, more in the way of widespread showers, especially in the morning, a little bit cooler at 75. And then over the weekend, Lauren, just some spotty storms, not a washout. But look at that, temperatures straight across the board starting tomorrow, running all the way into next week, are going to finally be above normal.
All right, Todd, looking forward to that. Thank you so much. Well, We're Open Today introduces you to restaurants all around central Indiana that are open and ready to serve you. Indiana grown, shop local, and farm to table are concepts in Noblesville business takes really seriously. RTV6's Brad Brown explains you support all local market. You're supporting other hardworking Hoosiers as well.
Nestled on the Courthouse Square in downtown Noblesville, All Local Market is all Indiana, all the time.
People have really shown up for support and to support local. It's been amazing how much the community's really come out and shown themselves.
Robin Wilson and her husband Mike are celebrating 2 years in business on the square, but Robin admits the past couple of months have been challenging.
Being here and just not having the same kind of pedestrian traffic and lights off in places, and knowing that the restaurants can only do carry out. It's been odd. Just a strange feel.
The name All Local is the real deal. The eggs and milk are from just up the road in Rusheville and Sheridan. The coffee beans are roasted in Cicero.
We just brought on Dark Side Roasters. That's been a huge hit. Everybody that's come in has been like, we are so glad you are carrying Dark Side Roasters.
The meats of all sorts coming from Hoosier family farms as well. They're keeping close relationships with each one of those producers.
Now more than ever, it is so important to really utilize what's inside your state lines. How can you help out your agriculture community right here in your own state lines? So it's very important to us to make sure we're getting good quality, clean food on people's tables.
The Wilsons are also supporting local artists and craft makers, another touch of Indiana pride on display.
My hope is that people will continue that this pandemic isn't just a time where people are reaching out to small local businesses. I hope this is something that continues.
Robin told me cases of XXX root beer from Lafayette and Matou's egg rolls from Noblesville have been a couple of her hottest items. You can check the All Local Facebook page for product availability. They're open Tuesday through Sundays on the Courthouse Square in Noblesville. Let's give you a couple of updates about restaurants we've also covered recently. Quack Daddy Donuts in Pendleton has reopened their dining room. Alexis says they had a very busy first day. You can stop by and grab a dozen of your own. And the Oasis Diner is seating customers once again, spreading things out inside. Seats on their patio as well once the weather is right. And their breaded tenderloin is still one of the absolute best. You can visit them in Plainfield. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
All right, Brad, thank you so much. Still ahead here on the news at noon, we'll show you someone who's kicking up cooking at home by a notch. Then we'll get one final check of your forecast. Stick around. You're watching RTV6.
850, 50, 54.
Well, more of us have been cooking at home since the pandemic began, and that includes cooks of all ages. And we do mean all ages, so take a look at this. Well, that is Kobe. He's the son of radio personality Ashley Wyan in Virginia. She's been posting a number of videos of him cooking a number of different things, from pizza to pineapple vegetable kebabs. Kobe is racking up quite a few views online, as you can imagine. What a cute little guy, and I think he's a little better than I am in the kitchen, Todd. I don't know. I need him to come to my house.
He's pretty talented there, you know. He can make it for me, and I'll be safe and put it in the oven for him, and we'll enjoy it 25 minutes later. All right, today around 60 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Warmth returns tomorrow, 80 degrees. Just spotty storms tomorrow. More widespread storms, Lauren, on Friday.
All right, Todd, thanks, and thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. We'll see you at 5.